Halito, everybody, welcome back. This is CT over the NYC Indian, and today we're going to be reviewing Seeking Brother Husbands. This was the fourth episode that we watched last night. So this is going to be brought to you from a mixed perspective, an urban Native American perspective, and a secular perspective. So let's keep our minds open, and I have to say that for myself too, because this is it's so unique and so interesting. But I don't know, these are women that are empowered, so let's just let them have their power. All right, let's just do that. So first we start off with the boss, okay, the big boss, Kenya, right? Her and Carl, they've had a business for years. They've been really like professional polyamorous people. My only complaint with this show is that I feel as though this is not quite polyandry. It should be just called, polygamous women, or something like that, because this is not. Well, we'll get into that later, because I feel like some people are going for polyandry and some people are not. All right. So, okay, let's get going. Oh my God. So my camera's looking a little weird. Am I like in a vertical? That's kind of strange. All right, well, hopefully you guys can see me and hear me. All right. So anyway, so we start off with Kenya. So she's getting ready for her like reunion with her ex, David. She hasn't seen him in a long time. So they had broken up because he didn't want her seeing other people. He was okay with Carl, aka the piece of furniture, just hanging around, but he didn't want to, have her dating other people. So, he comes over and honey, let me tell you something. Kenya could have damn near did a cartwheel. She was so excited. And I was like, oh my God. Oh, you're back. Hey, Susan. Okay. Oh, I'm good now. Okay. Well, it was looking a little weird earlier, but I don't know. Susan, does the screen look weird, or does it look normal like it normally looks? I'm just curious, because on my side it looks kind of like a, what do you call it, like a portrait view. So anyway, so Kenya goes, he knocks on the door, right? And she's like, oh, how lucky am I? I got all these men to sit around and, they can kind of like discuss. Okay, good. It's normal. Thank you. Thanks, Susan. So Susan, I'm going to have to start putting you on the payroll, girl, because you're my tech support when my husband's not here. I really appreciate you, Susan. Thank you so much. But, so so she's ready to do a cartwheel, and she's like, oh, I got all these men here. Oh, these men. It's just like she just has like a little feast of ice cream and cakes and wafers and fruit and cupcakes. Like, ooh, which one should I have first? She really, let me tell you, that woman really enjoys her life, okay? I still think it's more polyamorous versus polyandry, but maybe that's like my perception of it so far. Maybe I'll change that a little bit later. But yeah, David comes in and and what's his name? Tiger's over there on the couch looking like, with his little green eyes or whatever color his eyes are. And, so he's been tied up with family obligations and taking care of parents and things like that. So he says that now he appreciates the dynamic of her polygamous lifestyle, and that he's at a good place right now in his life where that could fit in with his lifestyle. Before, because he says right now he just has he just doesn't have time to like fully invest in a relationship. And so I was like, okay, so this is interesting. So this is really him coming back on his own accord, and God knows she's excited about it, and they definitely seem to have a chemistry. And, she seems to have a little bit of a type, because he wasn't, he was somewhere in the region of Tiger, though Tiger does really stand out because of his eyes, right? He's got that cleft in his chin, which I think is, I think that's kind of cute, right? Whatever. But so she decides to walk the dog and let the men folk have their little talk. So Carl's got to sit here and be like, okay, I'm letting you know what's going on. This is where she's at in her life at this point. Do you think you can fit into that? Tiger's here, and Tiger plans on having this wedding ceremony, and you coming in right now is not a very opportune time, because like they're trying to work on their relationship. And what's her name? Kenya's over there. She's like, like I'm really working on getting my own bedroom right now. So, just for times like this, like, it was was so funny. So she comes back anyway, and she's talking about, how they haven't seen each other in a while. Now, Carl and Tiger have left. They've given them some privacy. And, they're talking about what it's like, after all this time that they've been together. So now we have Elisa and Mike. And now on this particular episode, his mother's going to be coming over. So now we go to Shara. And Shara is, oh man, I think Shara is such a lovely lady. I think she's just pretty, and I think she's very statuesque, and, she has a lovely figure. She's so feminine. I mean, I think she's a very lovely woman. I'm wondering why she's having such a hard time finding someone, but, maybe she just like has a very narrow type, and within that type, there's not a lot of guys that would be open to her type of marriage. And so she decides to go out with some new guy named Valentino. Valentino, nice looking guy. He's a little bit younger than her, I think. And they decide to go on a photo shoot date, because I guess what he does is he creates content or whatever. And he lives in Texas. So they're talking about the different dynamics of her relationship, and it appears that, because she asked him, because remember, she wants to have a baby, and she doesn't have a whole lot of time left on the clock, right? And she's asking him if he can, how he feels about that, and he was pretty clear that he did not want to have children, right? And she's like, oh, okay, but, she's not pushing it, it's just the first date, right? But she wants to know where his head's at. And I mean, I can understand she doesn't have a lot of time to waste. So I feel like if somebody's telling you right off the bat, like first date, I don't want to have kids, then, next, right? If you want to have a kid. So now we go to Kim. So Kim is on a date with Ryan from the party. And Ryan just kind of feels like a little bit of a hippie to me, and they go to the skating rink. And apparently Ryan knows how to skate, and he's helping her and stuff. And he seems like, and he's seeing other people. He's like, I got a few in my pocket. He's very open, right? So it's so interesting, right? This is fascinating, because we never get to see two people on a date where one person says, oh yeah, I'm dating several other people, or yeah, I mean, I got a few here on the back burner. We don't usually see that. It's always, of course I'm single, of course there's no one else, just so casually, oh yeah. So I guess that's the benefit of being polyamorous, right? You don't have to worry about hurting anybody's feelings. I mean, not that the feelings won't get hurt anyway, but I mean, there's no secret, right? I guess you can just, talk to whoever you want to talk to. So now she goes, oh, okay. So she's processing this information. And you notice, like, right after he said that he's dating other people, she's like, okay. She seemed to really like that. Like, yeah, don't be getting too close now. I don't want another what's his name situation. Oh God, I can't remember the guy's name who she likes. Vincent. We don't want another Vincent situation. So one thing that confused me about Kim, though, is that she said that she felt as though Vincent was getting too close. And I said to myself, she seemed to me, because now her husband, Dustin, really likes Vincent, all right? And it seems to me like she wants, like, to me, it for a minute, it looks like she wants a polyandry type situation, two husbands. But then it's like, well, you got that. You had that with Vincent and Dustin, because Vincent was okay with Dustin being there, another piece of furniture, as I call the first husbands, right? So you had that. So why are you making it seem about Ryan? Because Ryan's like, I don't know, because she's asking Ryan, like, how involved he would be and hanging out and stuff like that. And Ryan just like, yeah, I just kind of like, I can't really like be there all the time and, doing family picnics and stuff like that. And she's like, oh, I really kind of was looking for something that was a little bit more like, more part of the family. And I'm like, you had that with Vincent. So what's the point? So are you just polyamorous, or are you looking for polyandry? Again, I just want to hear that distinction, right? So, I was just confused with her. Now, getting to Dustin. So, with Dustin, Dustin seems so into Vincent, like in terms of like, oh, he really likes him. He really, has a good relationship with him and everything. Now, normally, I don't listen. I'm a human being. I'm not. That's not to say I don't ever question someone's, sexuality, right? And on some of the other shows that I review, some of those people, I question their sexuality. I mean, I wonder, like, is this person straight or whatever? Because it's not always easy to come out as bi, because you get a lot of discrimination if you're bi too, because it's like, oh, you're greedy, you can't choose, or something like that. And we don't, as a society, we don't allow men to be bi, which is really messed up. It's like women can be bi, like at least even if you agree with it or don't agree with it, even if you think like, oh, it's believable. But people think that if a man likes men, he likes men only. And that's so stupid. That's so stupid. I mean, sexuality is a spectrum. So I say all that to say on this show, I think the sexuality speculation I think it's warranted, right? Because we're talking about people that are very open sexually. They're very free. So I think it's okay for me to say, like, I think he maybe likes guys too, right? So because, I mean, with Vincent, it seems like Dustin likes Vincent a little bit. And I don't think Vincent's into Dustin whatsoever. I think he's like laser focused in on Kim. But Dustin seems a little bit, I don't know. I mean, he seems a little like he kind of likes him. You know what I mean? Or just maybe has a little crush on him or something. Oh, hi, Miss Serenity. How are you? Oh my God, you guys have to check out her videos. Go over to Miss Serenity Smith, baby. She's in the chat right now. She is an amazing artist. Oh my God, she makes the most realistic. Just go check it out. I cannot speak for her work. Her work speaks for herself. So would you say I have to start watching this show? Sounds very different. So Miss Serenity, yes, we're over here. I'm all about the foolishness, the craziness, the alternative lifestyles. We do all kinds of, we talk about stuff that's, stuff that, could be considered normal, but also the stuff that is like off the beaten path, or things that we don't necessarily explore as much. And I have watched and reviewed Seeking Sister Wife, but it's more of a hate watch, I'm honest, because I don't like the idea of men having all these women. It feels like a stable to me. But with the women having men, it's different agency. It's a different power dynamic. The women, when they're stuck with a husband that has 6 other wives, she can't get up and leave. They almost always have babies, and usually several, right? They can't just get up and leave. A lot of times there's welfare going on. I'm not saying all of them, but there's a whole lot of stuff going on. But this is so different. Everybody seems to have their own money, and they're just kind of like pulling it together and stuff like that. But I am just really still trying to, so I'm still trying to basically figure out, like, who is polyamorous, meaning you just date whomever you want, you have an open relationship, and who is polyandrous, right? Polyandry is the practice of women having multiple husbands, and this is a practice globally. I know it's practiced in India. I heard that it is also practiced in some places in Africa. I was like, I don't know. I have to double check the source on that one. I've never, because I know it to be such a patriarchal continent, right, of various cultures, but it is practiced in other countries, right? So that's what I'm interested in, right? Because like the polyandry that occurs in places like India, I've seen cases where the woman will marry 2 brothers, and it is literally family, literally. And it has to do with keeping land, and land being passed down through the woman's line, and she doesn't give that land up somehow with the way the marriage is set up. So this is really fascinating. And do we judge a little? I mean, yeah, sure, you judge a little bit. But, I mean, I'm just interested in the polyandry. The polyamorous does not interest me. I mean, anybody can just open up their whatever relationship and just say, oh, we have an open marriage. And, and that's fine. But, yeah, I mean, would you say, yes, I love that women get to have more men? Oh, hi, Nikki. How are you? From Lady Lake, Florida, Nikki C. You're down there in Florida, girl. Listen, Nikki, I don't know what's going on in your state, honey. I'm glad I'm out of there, but I realize I know some people still live there, and we have to vote. That's all we can say. Vote. Make sure you vote for all your elections, even for the dog catcher. Vote. Now, I couldn't have 2 brothers. Yeah, like, I don't know. And when I saw the documentary, and if I don't know if it was, I'm sorry guys, I can't quote my sources here, but it's all on YouTube. If you just look up polyandry, Polyandry, and look up Polyandry India, you will see the documentary I was talking about. And yeah, that's just their practice. It's not like this isolated couple here. This is part of their practice. And I remember the woman, she had a child or two kids. They didn't know who the dad was. I mean, they're not doing DNA tests. I mean, they lived like on the slopes of the mountains up in some region, I don't know, some mountainous region of the Himalayas, and they're agricultural people. They farm the land, and it's just really interesting. It is just really, really interesting. It is crazy down there, Nikki. I know it's crazy, girl. We're with you. We're thinking of you. But yeah, so Shara, oh no, sorry, I'm not on Shara, I'm still on Kim. So yeah, I'm just wondering, is Kim's husband bi? I feel like he might be. I just hope he tells us. And I also want them to not make us wait till the end of the season to find out who is dating who. Because if the cat's out the bag already, I wasn't, saying it before in the early episodes, but the cat's out the bag. Carl and Kenya, they have a documentary by Bancroft that's also on YouTube about their polyamorous coaching business that they have. They've been poly for a long time, and he opened up the marriage, not her. Carl was the one that met somebody at work, came home, told Kenya, and she was like, "You did what? Oh, okay. Well, I guess it's my turn then." And then that just when you let the cat out the bag, Kenya just went for it completely. So Kenya just living her best life. So these two have children. They've managed to maintain their marriage. Now Tiger, now I feel a little bad for Tiger because Tiger is feeling replaced by David coming along, right? But I almost feel bad. If you really don't like it, you can always leave. But, he has invested all these years, and he really has had no competition because Carl's in his room on his laptop doing whatever he's doing. Oh, and Carl has been in long-term relationships throughout this. It wasn't just the one lady, the one time when he first decided to tell Kenya that, he was no longer monogamous. He has been in a relationship with a woman. Now, I don't know if they're still in a relationship, but on that Bancroft documentary, you can see the woman that he was dating for years, and she has kids and stuff like that. So it's fascinating. I'm just fascinated by all of it. Kenya is definitely the boss bitch on this series. I mean, the fact that she monetizes this, she makes it's part of her life. Now, the only thing that I do question is the kids. I don't know. But maybe that's just my own judgmental thing, right? And you guys know I'm secular. I'm not a religious person, so this doesn't come from like any kind of biblical or Jewish or Islamic or no kind of thing like that. My slate is clean in terms of how I see it, But even as a secular, non-religious person, I still am used to two people being together. Now, I don't care if it's, to me, it's no different if it's a man and a woman, two men, two women, whatever, but just two people, not several people. So that's kind of like unique. But they are making this work. Kenya and Carl are an example of people that are making it work. Not to say that there's not bumps in the road with these kind of relationships, but they seem to be successful with this. So, I don't know. What can I say at this point? So anyway, going back to Kenya, so, she's sharing some bubbly with David. They got the place to themselves, right? And they're in Houston. And Carl and Tiger, now, but David lives in New York, so they don't even know how they would even work this out with the long distance and everything. So Carl and Tiger, they're gone, right? Like I said, and she says that David was almost husband number 2. And now that gave me pause again, because again, it's supposed to be about polyandry. So if he was almost supposed to be husband number 2, they were together for years. And I don't remember how long they were together for, but they were together for years until he broke up with her. So what else did he have to do to become husband number 2 at that time, right? So he came in the picture before Tiger did, I believe. So what would So if he would have fully accepted the fact that she is poly and will continue to seek out other partners, if he had accepted that, would that have officially made him husband number two? Like, I don't get what the exact criteria is, why he was just a boyfriend, right? I'm not sure about that. So, honey, listen, they decided to do some body painting, okay? So she's all, making her canvas over here, and he's, rubbing her, doing all that stuff and everything. And I was like, oh, honey, this is getting a little racy for TLC, honey. I'm gonna have to do an after dark episode for this. I can't be doing this at 9:00 in the morning. Actually 10:30 over here, I should say. So then they were like, okay, well, let's get this off. Let's go take a bath. And she is, she's just so free. You know what I mean? You see, we saw her in the bikini, or was it? Yeah, I think was that a bikini or some kind of one piece or something. Listen, she's like, I don't care. You can look at my big butt. You can look at my belly. I don't care. I'm getting in this water and I'm getting this man, honey. I was like, oh my God. Whew, we need a parental warning on this particular episode. I said, well, I'm just not going to assume, too much, but they're in the bathtub. We can only guess what happened after that, right? Especially because she was so excited. Oh my gosh, she's like, he's here. And Carl was like, she tends to get quite giddy at times when it comes to David. And it's like, Carl is he's just got his whole other life. So, I'm okay that they're focusing in on Kenya and her husbands, right, and not so much Carl and stuff, but I wouldn't mind if they at least kind of showed us who Carl's dating right now. And I also want to know about Tiger. Like, now Tiger's feeling replaced and he wants his wedding ceremony. Has Tiger been seeing other people as well? Kenya's so busy trying to get her own goddamn bedroom, right? She's just trying to get away from Tiger. And I'm like, girl, you got it all. I don't know what else, you got one man that can fix the sink. You got another one that can, build your website. What else do you want? I don't know. To each his own. So then that brings us back to Shara. So Shara brings Valentino to meet Patrick. And Patrick, they're playing pool and they're chatting. And Patrick is saying to himself, like, okay, this guy is actually asking questions and he's actually giving intelligent, thoughtful responses, and automatically comparing him to Noble. He cannot stand Noble's dirty drawers. Do you understand? He can't stand him. And I was like, oh, this is so interesting. Because, at first, because the way he didn't like the way Noble was all in the house and, not respecting the rules that they initially had set up and everything about the boundaries, it feels as though, it was feeling as though, like, is he just jealous? Because that's, obviously what would come to mind as a person, as a monogamous person. I would think, oh, he's just got to be jealous. What else could this be? But it didn't really seem that way. Once Valentino came on the scene, he didn't seem jealous at all. And, I assume Patrick is a heterosexual man. I'm just assuming. He has several children, right? He doesn't want to have any more. And, he seems to like Valentino. So he's like, you know what, let's get down right to the heart of the matter. And he starts asking, Patrick starts asking Valentino about how he feels about having kids. And, it was pretty much a pretty hard no, right? And he's thinking, I wondered in that moment if Valentino was sitting there going, okay, this woman that I met online, that I've flown in or drove over wherever to see, I've traveled far to see, I'm sitting here, I've never been in anything poly before, I'm sitting here across from her husband who's interviewing me as if like a father about to take a daughter out on a date or something like that. And, and they're both looking at me, trying to, gauge my response. And then I get hit with the kid question. I wonder if in that moment, if he was like, are they catfishing me? Are these people like swingers or something like, because that's what it kind of felt like in that moment. Like he must have been like, what? Like, why are you guys asking me about kids? Like, I thought you guys were just, down with the get down. You know what I mean? Like, what's going on here? So it was, I want to hear more of Valentino's impression about this, because his whole thing is, well, I just want to make sure that I fit and that, I'm not, disrespecting anybody's space, and, this will work out for me. I can have my thing and I can see her when I want to and everything like that. Nikki says Valentino seemed overwhelmed with it all. He did, because he's not used to that. It's like, yeah, like, whoa, if he wasn't on camera, he might be like, okay, where are the cameras, right? Come on, is this a joke? But, he knew what he was signing up for, kind of. It's not really, you don't really know until you're in it, right? So now we go over to Mike. So Mike meets up with his friends, and they start to question his decision to let her be poly. Now, I am not feeling like this is a polyandry situation. This feels strictly like polygamy, right? She just wants to date other people. And it doesn't feel like that person will be integrated into the home. It doesn't seem like Mike would be comfortable with that. Now, Mike, I'm sitting there and I'm looking at Mike. And remember I said he's very mealy-mouthed. He's very quiet, low tone, and everything like that. Now, I don't know for sure, but I'm kind of getting that, is Mike like bi, or, like what's going on with Mike too? You know what I'm saying? Like, like I said, it's not something I usually delve into, but on this show, have at it, right? Because this is just so interesting, because we don't know. All we know is that really he's biting down and bearing it for her to be with somebody else. He doesn't want that. Does he want other partners for himself? Is he with the right partner himself? You know what I mean? And the friends were like, I don't think this is right for him, but I think he's just trying to appease her. So yeah, I'm wondering sexual identity wise, like how he identifies. I'm increasingly more curious when it comes to Mike. So then we go back to Kim. So she's on a date with Vincent, and he's saying that he felt neglected at the party. And she's like, oh, well, you really weren't interacting much and stuff like that. And, you need to like kind of talk to people and stuff. And he's like, well, you really weren't paying attention to me. And, it was that, but he knew she was on the hunt, basically, to find her another man. So then she puts her foot down about the dating and is like, look, if you want to be with me, you have to accept the fact that I'm going to see other people. And then he starts asking about Ryan, and she's like, yeah, I'm exploring what's going to happen with him. And you can literally see Vincent's heart break through the screen. And I'm like, ay, Vincent, why are you chasing after this woman? Why? You so clearly are not comfortable with this. If you're not comfortable with it, why do that to yourself? I don't understand that. Miss Serenity said, I just couldn't be with a bi man in this type of relationship because it's like competing with a woman in that case. Oh, that's interesting. Yeah, I don't know. I don't know how people work that out. I wonder if they I'm sure there's so many different types of polyamorous relationships. I wonder if you have your poly people that are like, okay, I'll be with this person, but they have to be hetero, or they have to be bi so that we can explore together, or you know what I mean? Like I'm sure there's so many different dynamics. But yeah, that's interesting though. That's very interesting. But Miss Serenity, I guess if they were both two hetero, strong, strapping bucks, girl, you might you said I might be able to consider that one. The focus would be split and I would need it all to be on me. I hear you. I know that's right. Listen, this is a ladies' corner over here, guys. If anybody's tuning in, this is definitely a ladies' corner. Men, you're totally welcome to watch and participate, but this definitely comes from a very, focal, a female-focused perspective. But, yes, girl. Hey, listen, I'm telling you, I had a friend one time and she was polyamorous, and she was like, yeah, I hang out at these parties and stuff like that. And I remember we went to this party together, right? And, and you know, just for, you know, I mean, I'm definitely part of the LGBT community, but I am in a heterosexual marriage, and I'm also in a monogamous marriage, right? So this was before I was married and stuff, but even then, I always was very monogamous. And when she took me to that party, and I looked around at the people that were there, they were so creepy, and they were like, everybody, they just looked like they were salivating when we came through the door, and it just for honesty's sake, I mean, this was not exactly the most like good looking group of people. So, and my friend was, you know, gorgeous. Like she was so pretty. Like that is, it's just not someone that you would think you would see. I don't know. I mean, that's just my prejudice because I'm not from that community. But like, you know, she definitely stood out like a beauty queen in that environment. And I just remember everybody was like, "Hi, nice to meet you. Oh, who's your friend?" It was creepy. It was creepy. These people looked so gross, and I was like, girl, like, what are you doing here? Like, are these the people you're hanging out with? Like, are you looking to have something with one of these? I mean, you know, if you're gonna do it, at least get two fine people. They gotta be damn good looking if you're gonna have two. I mean, come on now. You can't be looking halfway. I'm so petty. I'm so fucking petty sometimes. I'm sorry. Listen, poly people, don't get upset at me. I'm just over here processing and thinking out loud. But that poly party, those people were, ooh, they were busted looking. Oh my God. Anyway, moving on. I shouldn't be talking about people's looks like that because I ain't no beauty queen, okay? But my friend was definitely a beauty queen, and those tongues were wagging when she walked in through the door. So anyway, so we finish off with Mike and Elisa. So all the family gathers together at this vineyard, right? So it's her parents and his parents and everything, and they're having a good time, you know. Well, not, I shouldn't say good time, but you know, her mom seems like she's enjoying herself, right? But his mom, it's time to do like the complete interrogation. She's like, "Why are you doing this? It looks like you're just cheating on my son." And, you know, because that's basically what she did. She cheated on her husband. She was like, "I love your husband so much." She's crying. She's like, "I've never felt that sort of connection with another person except him and the other guy at the bar." Like, listen, girl, I think you cannot be dragging somebody into this. She needs to divorce him. Find somebody else, like on one of those sites or something like that, that's open and that's like built for that. I think it's very unfair to have somebody in the relationship and then kind of put that on them. Kenya and Carl, I mean, I know, I guess it happens with some people, like things get dry or whatever, and then they decide to take a turn. But it seems ideal if you're going into it as, you know, hey, this is how I am, and, you know, you're down with this or whatever. So then people can make their decisions and stuff like that. Not, I've been in love with you for 20 years, and now you're telling me you want to date other people. What'd you say, Miss Serenity? Unless one is for money and one is for the honey. Girl. Oh, shit. Hey, I mean, you know, hey, listen, we're not judging around here. I mean, listen, it kind of seems like that's how Kenya's thing is set up, right? Because, you know, like she says, like, Tiger, he's the more athletic one and stuff, and Carl is more, you know, nerdy and you know, into business and things like that. So I mean, it seems like she has a good setup. I just don't understand why she's not happy with those two. That's the only thing I don't understand. Or maybe I'm just so like, my heart's broken because I want this to be about polyandry and not just polyamory. So maybe it's just my own thing here. What'd you say? She's 100%. Susan, girl. What are you telling us? Susan. You ladies are too much. Listen, I cannot do this. Good thing I don't live in an apartment. I would be waking up neighbors over here with all this cackling I'm doing. This is so funny. But yeah, this has been a really good it's the perfect world. Listen, Miss Serenity, we were already talking the other day about opening up that pool, girl. Now, listen, I don't know, quite frankly, I know so many people are probably so surprised that there's this many heterosexual black men on this show that are all willing and open. That's part of the fascinating thing too. But listen, if you're talking about if you like, maybe get, open to like maybe somebody Latino or maybe somebody European or somebody then you could probably get you a little, get you a couple of husbands tomorrow, Miss Serenity. Oh my God. This is just, I'm a little bit crazy, guys. I can't help it. That's just how I was born. So, I should have known that, 40 plus years after my birth, I'd be waking up, looking into a camera, talking to you guys about all my craziness and nonsense. But, New York City, really living there for so long, I lived there for most of my life. It exposed me to so many different types of things that I just never would have been exposed to if I would have remained living in the very small, little conservative Christian little town that I grew up in. So, I mean, the world is a big place and there's a lot of different things out there. So, you know what? All this imbalance that women have had to deal with for years, having to run from men and having to, protect ourselves, protect our children. Hey, if a woman decides she wants to have more than one partner and everybody's on board with it, nobody's being disrespected, then I guess it's whatever works for your particular household. I can't be mad at it. I just can't. And that's why I'm so excited to have this show and to be able to talk with other people about it, because I don't know any women that are in that kind of relationship at the moment. Would you say that will be a new show? Yes, there we go. That's the next show. Exactly. That will be the next show. Oh my God. I agree with you. I'm not just, it's just different. It's just different. That's all. But when they have those Seeking Sister Wives shows, I can't stand it. Now, I'm not going to lie. I judge the hell out of that. I don't like it because it's something creepy. It's something kind of cultish. A lot of times it has to do with religion, and I don't like that kind of stuff. But these are just free thinking, open-minded people who just have a way of life that works for them, and as long as no one's getting hurt, that's fine. Like I said, with the kids, now that is a little bit, but see, now I'm re-examining because I hated it when I saw it on Seeking Sister Wives, but now with the Seeking Brother Husbands, with the kids, I have to re-examine how I see it with the children because it just feels so different. But it's like, I just feel like regardless of if they have multiple partners or not, I just feel like there shouldn't be too much traffic. You know what I mean? I don't feel like kids should be seeing too many people go in and out. Even some single moms, like how many single moms say, hey, you know what? I don't bring home somebody to my kid until we're very serious. Some single dads are like that too, right? So I am re-examining my own preconceived notions, my own ignorance and my own judgment towards this. This is just, it's interesting. I'm trying to keep my mind open, but all right, guys, would you say I watch a show where they had kids and they make it look almost normal? Yeah, I don't know. We got to see more, and I don't want to see kids on the screen too much, but I would be interested to see maybe with some of the kids that are like older children, like how they kind of deal with it and stuff like that, how they feel about it. But yeah, it's mind blowing. It's so much fun. Oh my God, I had so much fun with you ladies this morning. Thank you so much, Susan, Miss Serenity, Nikki over there in Florida, girl. You guys have made this chat very good today. You made the show very good today. I really appreciate you guys taking your time out and tuning in to watch me. Like I said to everybody, go check out Miss Serenity Smith Babies over on YouTube. She's in the chat. You can see it there. And that's it. I'm gonna sign out now. So I will see you on Thursday for Married at First Sight, and I'll see you on Friday for Love After Lockup. So I hope you're staying safe. I hope you're taking care. If you enjoyed the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe, share it with your friends, all that good stuff. And I'll see you on Thursday. Take care, stay safe, and JP Salacho. Thank you so much, Nikki.